can't tell you how pumped I am about this. This is beyond exciting to me. I don't know if you have ever listened to this here Wretched Radio program before, and the answer to that probably is no, because there are very few who listen to it twice. I'm kind of nuts about biblical counseling. I don't just like it, I thoroughly dig it, because it is so robust a field to help people with emotional issues. And we have a tendency to think of kind of the big ones: anxiety, depression, perhaps anger issues. It goes so beyond that. You have a fear of man problem. You have insecurities. You have image issues. You deal with repetitious thoughts in your brain, perhaps something bordering on OCD. Biblical counseling speaks to those subjects. And because so many people have benefited from biblical counseling, and we would like so many more people to benefit from biblical counseling, we've decided to make a TV show about biblical counseling. Hollywood? No. Christian? Thoroughly. Better stated, biblically, because there is a difference, of course, between Christian and biblical counseling. Christian counseling tends to be an integrationist model with secular psychology and a couple of Bible verses. Probably Philippians 4, about doing all things through Christ who strengthens you. Biblical counseling uses the Bible like a surgeon's scalpel to cut into your heart, to reveal what's really going on there, put it up on display, label it biblically, and then offer the biblical solution. And there always is one for a sinful heart. And so biblical counseling is a field that I would encourage every single church to consider getting involved in. That you would have a biblical counseling center in your church where you can disciple one another, because that's really what biblical counseling is. It have a tendency to make it sound like it's kind of competing with a clinical approach. It's not. This is basically discipling, where somebody who is hurting says to somebody who is on more sound footing at the moment, hey, this is my issue. Can you help me figure this out biblically? And they do. That's discipleship. That's biblical counseling. So we're going to be making a not Hollywood glitzy show, although I got to tell you, it's going to look pretty kickin'. That's right. Pretty kickin'. I've been listening to the Beepster, and now I know how to do that type of stuff. Good Friday, fish and Barney. Why am I bringing this up at the moment? Because this program will not be available until next year, because we need you. We are actually going to be shooting 2 pilots for this program. We're doing it to kind of get the bugs worked out in how what the process is for actually producing the show. But it's also going to help us to formalize our approach to putting together a program that highlights biblical counseling that will cause anybody who happens to stumble onto that station at that time to go, what? The Bible? What? It's dealing with my gossip problem? Wait, hold it. Why didn't somebody tell me that the Bible could do all of this? And so we are putting together a couple of pilots. We're going to be shooting that this summer. Here's the concept for the program. We are actually going to show biblical counseling. An individual who is struggling with a particular issue in life will do what we do in biblical counseling, and that is basically fill out a survey form to help us understand who you are, what you're struggling with, what's going on, why you react the way that you do. Then this person on this program will actually meet with a biblical counselor, none other than Dr. Greg Gifford himself from the Masters University. He is a part of the biblical counseling programs there, and he is going to be the counselor. While he is counseling somebody, Dr. Dale Johnson from the Association of Certified Biblical Counselors, Association of Certified Biblical Counselors, period. He's going to be describing what Greg is doing so that we can all learn what biblical counseling is and how to do it in an orderly fashion. And that leads us to you. This is a casting call. If you are in the Atlanta area, we want you, if you are willing to be on this program and be willing to be as vulnerable as you're willing to be about your struggle. Why? 1, so that you might learn something about yourself and how to apply the Bible. and so will others who are watching it. 2, the gospel will clearly be proclaimed, and people watching this will get saved from this program. 3, our hope is that people are going to get so excited about biblical counseling, they are going to go to biblicalcounseling.com, get certified in biblical counseling, and start counseling people in their own church, relieving the counseling burden from our pastors, where we do it for one another. Are you willing to be on this show to share what your struggle might be? If so, you must be in the Atlanta area, give or take 50 miles. Why? Because we're coming to your house, and we're going to film you at your house. Then you're going to spend a day with us here in the studios, and you will be spending time with Dr. Greg Gifford. And we are going to record all of this, and we are going to put it into a TV show that will accomplish that threefold goal. Will you help us? If you're willing, visit wretched.org/casting. Wretched.org/casting. Lots of questions for you to fill out, and don't worry, you're not committing to anything. We'll talk to you before the shooting day comes. We're looking at the week of May 24th. So if this sounds like something that you would be willing to do for yourself and to help others, and the more transparent people are willing to be, which we, to an appropriate degree, should be willing to be transparent, because after all, the cross testifies we really are broken, busted, sinful people, aren't we? The more people will be helped by this. And please note, just a point of interest, perhaps, you're not going to be the star of the show. This is not to try to turn this into some sort of Jerry Springer or Dr. Phil sort of affair, where we find the foibles when we make fun of some. That's like a million miles from our thinking on this. But Greg Gifford, he's not going to be the star either. The star of this program is going to be ultimately Jesus Christ. Why? Because that's the goal of biblical counseling. It is not stabilized emotions. Oh, that's in there, but that's not the goal. The goal is that if you're more like Jesus, your emotions will be stabilized. We want people to be more like Jesus Christ. So ultimately, the focus of this program is to be revealing the Bible so that people go, I had no idea. You mean the Bible really speaks about OCD? By my repetitious thoughts, I have to check the garage door 800 times, and you're telling me the Bible can fix me? And the answer is absolutely. Is it easy? Of course it's not. Just like anything, you don't expect to go to any counselor and just hear a magic word and go, oh, why didn't you say that? Now I don't have to check it 800 times. I'll just check it twice. That's not the way it works with anything. And so this is a discipline, but there is power in the Word of God. And so the Bible is going to be put on full display with a spotlight all over it so that Jesus Christ shines brightly. If you're willing to help, we are looking right now, we're going to be doing more of this in the future, but right now we're looking for two people. Simply visit wretched.org/casting and share what it is that the form requests of you, and we will be in touch. Not in a Charles Stanley kind of way, but we'll be in touch, not with the magazine. Isn't that funny that there's a magazine called In Touch? I'm sure that made Charles Stanley and the gang jump for joy when they went through the grocery store and saw that sitting on the newsstand. Please visit wretched.org/casting, and we will be in touch. This is Wretched Radio. Pepperoni pizza for Pete, which in an odd way is a lot like the difference between imputation and expiation. Are you familiar with the difference, Pete?
I didn't order a pizza?
But it actually in Latin means completely, to completely atone. It's a Latin word, expiationem, and yet an action noun because it comes from the past participle stem of...